There's a hotel so haunted, even its guests refuse to talk about it. A place so cursed, it's as though the very walls know your deepest fears. As you step inside, the air turns thick, the lights flicker, and the shadows grow too still. The kind of place that promises a room for the night, but makes no guarantee you'll make it until morning. It's the sort of hotel that whispers to you in your sleep, calls you by name in the darkness, and when the hour is late enough, shows you things that should never be seen by human eyes. Many have checked in over the years, but none have left unscathed. Guests wander through its decaying halls, yet the moment they leave, they are never the same. Some say their minds unravel, others vanish altogether, leaving behind only echoes of their screams. No one dares to speak of it, too afraid that doing so would curse them to return. If you ever check into this hotel, you might not check out. It's a secret buried deep beneath the layers of dust and time. The hotel sits, forgotten by most, yet its legends grow ever stronger. The ones who survive don't talk about it, not in polite company, not to their loved ones. No one dares to speak its name. You might even pass it on the road, never knowing what awaits inside. A silent, looming reminder that some doors, some thresholds, are best left untouched. But what if you could? What if curiosity was your only companion, and your suitcase too heavy to leave behind? Would you walk away, or would you cross that threshold and step into a story of your own? One where the price for a night's sleep could cost you more than your sanity. This story will make you rethink staying overnight ever again. The camera whips past the hotel's towering facade, flickering between scenes. Dark hallways where doors open on their own, lights that refuse to stay lit, and eyes that watch from every corner. The heavy scent of decay clings to the wallpaper. A sudden sound breaks the silence, a distant scream. The floor creaks, a chair moves on its own, whispers in the air. Bold text flashes on the screen in sharp, cold letters. Do not stay here. And yet, some of us do. And the ones that do? Well, they're never quite the same again. This isn't just a ghost story. This is real. And the evidence? Chilling. They say every hotel has a history, but this one has something far worse. Something that lingers. Something that watches. The stories are whispered, never spoken aloud for too long. Because the moment you acknowledge it, the moment you truly believe, that's when it notices you. Guests have reported waking up in the dead of night, their breath hitching as unseen hands brush against their skin. Some find scratches carved into their flesh, marks they swear weren't there before they closed their eyes. Others hear it, the slow, deliberate knocking on their door, only to find no one there. And then there's the room, the one no one dares to enter. A room so unnerving that even the staff refuse to step inside. Doors slam shut on their own, shadows stretch where they shouldn't, and those who spend too long near it describe an overwhelming sense of dread. Some check in and leave with stories, others never leave at all. Low, intensifying background music, the kind that crawls under your skin, the kind that makes your heart pound just a little harder. Because the deeper we go, the more you realize this isn't just a haunted hotel, this is something else. And once you hear its story, you might wish you never did. It was never meant to be a place of nightmares. Built in the late 1800s, the hotel was supposed to be a grand escape for travelers passing through. Ornate chandeliers, velvet-lined hallways, and a promise of luxury. But beneath the elegance lurked something far darker. Some say it was the land itself, cursed long before the first brick was laid. Others believe the hotel was doomed from the start, The first reports came almost immediately. Guests complained of strange whispers in their rooms, cold spots that no fire could chase away. Staff spoke of objects moving on their own, doors locking themselves. But those were just stories, easy to ignore. Until the tragedies began. Room 306. Some call it the cursed room. Others refuse to speak of it at all. It started with a businessman found dead in his bed, no signs of struggle, no clear cause of death. Then a woman, a guest who had checked in alone, was discovered with deep scratches across her arms and neck. The official report said suicide. Locals weren't so sure. And then, the most infamous case, the one that sealed the hotel's reputation. A family of three, vanishing overnight. Their luggage remained untouched, their room undisturbed. But they were gone. The only clue? The words, "Don't open the door," scratched into the inside of their closet. Newspaper clippings, eyewitness reports, all tell the same story. Something is wrong with this place, a darkness that refuses to fade, a presence that never left. At first, it seems like any other hotel. A quiet lobby, dimly lit hallways, the distant hum of an old elevator. But those who stay here long enough, they start to notice things. It always begins the same way. A knock at the door, sharp, deliberate. The clock reads 3 a.m. The guest hesitates, peering through the peephole. No one is there. But the knocking doesn't stop. It grows louder, more insistent, until it suddenly ceases. When they finally open the door, the hallway is empty. Then there are the shadows, caught on security footage, shifting in ways they shouldn't. Some seem to linger at doorways, others flicker past windows on floors that should be empty. The hotel's night staff have seen them too, at least the ones who haven't quit out of fear. One employee refused to return after an unseen hand pulled her into an empty room. She never spoke about what happened inside. And then, the famous incidents. A team of paranormal investigators determined to uncover the truth set up cameras throughout the hotel. The footage? Disturbing. Doors slamming on their own, a whisper so close to the mic it sent one investigator running from the building, and then, one frame, a figure, standing at the end of the hallway, tall, unmoving, and faceless. But nothing compares to the guest who vanished. They checked in, left their bags in the room. Security footage shows them walking the halls, stopping outside room 306. And then, nothing. They never checked out, never used the front door. Their luggage remained. The bed was untouched. It was as if they had ceased to exist. Investigators found only one thing in their room, a tape recorder, left running. When they played it back, they heard breathing, slow, uneven, and then a voice. You shouldn't have come. And just when they thought they'd seen it all, things got even stranger. The stories are terrifying. The evidence is unsettling. But what do the experts say? Paranormal investigators have spent years studying this hotel, bringing in high-tech equipment, running thermal scans, setting up EVP recorders. And the results? Chilling. Famous ghost hunters have captured voices, whispers responding directly to their questions. A simple, "Is anyone here?" met with a distorted, rasping, "Get out." Shadows appearing in rooms that should be empty. Temperature drops so sudden, breath turns visible in an instant. One investigator reported feeling a hand press against his back, only to turn and find nothing there. And then, there are the skeptics. Scientists argue it's sleep paralysis, electromagnetic fields messing with the brain, the power of suggestion. But even they can't explain the disappearances, the identical stories told by people who have never met, and the way cameras malfunction only in certain rooms. But here's where it gets even stranger. This isn't the only hotel with a dark past. Across the world, there are others, hotels with nearly identical haunting. The same eerie figures caught in mirrors, the same unexplained knocks at 3 a.m., the number 13 appearing in room assignments, old documents, guest logs, as if something unseen is marking its presence. A coincidence? Or part of something bigger? And now, the real question. Do you think this is real? Comment below. Would you spend a night here? Let me know. But before you answer, just remember, some guests never leave. Every haunted hotel has a room no one dares to enter. Here, that room is infamous. A place so terrifying that even the bravest guests refuse to stay the night. The door, scratched, battered, as if something inside has been trying to get out. The number? Sometimes it's there. Other times it vanishes, as if the room itself is trying to be forgotten. The backstory is disturbing. Years ago, a guest checked in and never checked out. No struggle, no forced entry, just an empty room, the bed still made, their belongings untouched. The only thing left behind, a single sentence hastily scribbled into the wallpaper. Don't let it in. Since then, every guest who dares to stay there leaves before sunrise. Some report waking up to find the furniture rearranged. Others hear breathing, not theirs, coming from the darkness. One man swore he saw a reflection in the mirror that wasn't his own. When he turned around, the room was empty, and the security footage. Even worse, blurred figures moving on their own, doors unlocking by themselves, objects shifting without a sound. One guest, recording from their phone, captured a whisper so close to the mic it sent them running. You shouldn't have come. Even the staff refused to enter. Housekeepers knock before stepping inside, not out of habit, but out of fear. Some say if you listen closely, the room knocks back. Would you dare to stay the night? Just be warned. Not everyone who does leaves the same. Every haunting has a story, a reason. But what if this one is different? What if it's not just the ghosts of former guests? What if something far worse lingers here? Something no one understands. Some believe the spirits belong to those who checked in, but never checked out. Trapped between worlds, repeating their final moments, reaching out to warn, or to pull others in. Others whisper about a hidden past, something the hotel owners refuse to acknowledge. A tragedy so dark, it left a scar that never healed. And then, there's the most disturbing theory of all. This isn't just a haunted hotel, it's something more. A place where the walls are thinner, where reality bends. Some investigators believe the hotel sits on a portal, a doorway to something beyond our understanding. A place where time slips, where people disappear without a trace, where shadows move even when no one is there. The coincidences are eerie. Guests who stay in the haunted room often dream the same dream of a dark figure standing at the foot of their bed. Multiple psychics have visited, only to leave terrified, refusing to speak of what they felt. And if that isn't enough, a real-time experiment was conducted, cameras rolling, sensors placed, and in the middle of the night when everything was still, something knocked. 3 times, slow, deliberate. When they played back the audio, there was a voice, a whisper. It's still here. But the question remains, what do you believe? Some stories have an ending. This one does not. Investigators, skeptics, even seasoned ghost hunters have all tried to explain the horrors within this hotel. But one thing remains, a piece of evidence that no one can debunk. A recording found in the haunted room, the final words of a guest who was never seen again, their voice shaking barely above a whisper, "It knows I'm here." Then, silence. No forced entry, no struggle, just a room, untouched. Their belongings left behind, the bed still made, as if they simply ceased to exist. So the question remains, is the hotel cursed? A place where something unseen chooses who stays. and who never leaves. And to this day, no one knows what truly lurks inside. Would you dare to stay here? If this story kept you up tonight, hit like. So I know I'm not the only one. And if you thought this was terrifying, just wait until you see what's next. Blurred footage. Another haunted location. A shadow moves. A voice whispers, "Don't look behind you."